Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to paint a floral, a botanical is what you would call it. It could be any number of flowers. This one kind of looks like a hibiscus to me. I had someone else think of it as a sunflower. It just depends on how you want to work with it, but in essence, it is a very loose painting. I'm going to be utilizing wet on wet technique, and then I'm going to add some ink, some black ink with my micron pens and some jelly roll, some gel pens for added details. So I hope you stick around and check out what we're making. Okay, we're going to start off with a clean brush and some clean water. And today I'm using my Princeton brush. It's a number 10. It's a nice fat tip. It's a round brush. So I can get lots of coverage with this. I'm going to take my wet brush and I'm going to mark something weird on there. I'm going to take a wet brush and I'm going to try and outline the figure of a petal, and you might want to do this by leaning over to the side to see if you can get a some type of glare from the water, because I don't have a pencil marking here. If you want to start with a pencil marking, that's fine, just to know where you're placing your water. I'm going to be risky and I am going to let the water go where it may, and if I have some dry spots, well, that's okay, I'll fill it in later. 5 to 6 petals would be standard, but this is very loose and I don't want you to worry about it. Okay, next step, you're going to make sure you have primed your paint. I'm going to use my Kuretake set, and to prime it, you just wet it. You can wet this with a spray bottle or you can wet it with your brush. Make sure that you have a scratch sheet of paper on the side just to make sure you are using the right shade that you want. That's what I recommend. So I had a page from earlier today, and I am going to try out, let me move this over and zoom this back, and I think I'm going to try out some shades of, well, I had orange and yellow before. I might go with pink, something pink today, and I should probably hurry because my my water is drying. So let me see, I think I'm going to go with this shade right here. Let me see what comes. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I'm going to make sure my brush is wet, and I'm just going to take this to the edge, and because there's already water on the paper, you're going to see that paint flowing already. So we're going to try and be very loose with this, and we're just going to let it go where it wants to go. Go wander around, go play little paint. And there are ways that you can get it to move. You can add more water to your brush. I like to hold my brush from the very tip and just drag it sideways sometimes. If I want it to go in a certain direction, I want that paint to go in a certain direction. And I don't feel like I just want to leave it on 5 petals. I think I'm just going to let it be kind of like a flower burst. And that's all it should be. You're just, the whole important thing here is to have fun, right? Okay, you rinse off your brush. You might want to take another color. I think I'm going to go with this deeper red. I'm going to make sure it's a red. That's a nice color. I'm going to take that color, and what I'm going to do, surprise, load it up my brush, and now I'm going to tap it. And I'm probably going to get paint in different places around my desk, but that's okay. That's just proof that an artist lives here. All right, I like how the colors are blooming out in different places. And I can load up my brush again. That was fun, right? Load up my brush again and just make little splatters. Little splatters of color. Okay. You don't want to leave too much water on, but there is at this point water you can work with. So I'm going to take another shade, and this time I'm going to go with maybe some orange. And make sure I've loaded up my brush. When I say load my brush, that means that I have wet it and I have dipped it into paint and it is ready to work for me. So get to work, brush. Now, oops, there goes all the orange. I am splattering some orange, and I love how you can see the warm colors, the warm orange blending in with the cool pinks. That looks pretty nice, if I do say so myself. And I'm going to give a suggestion right here that this will be the center of a flower. Okay. And I'm also going to give the suggestion of some deeper shade, some a little darker brown, just a little bit, right? It doesn't have to be a lot. I like how my brush strokes start to blend in. So at this point I have a lot of water on here. What I recommend, don't dry it with paper towel unless that's what you want to do, and that's called lifting, and I can demonstrate that for you really fast. Lifting is when you take a paper towel, okay, and you dab on the spot where you have too much paint, and you could see that not just the water but also the paint came up here. So you can use this as a tool to kind of shape where you have a lot more color, but for the most part, like what if I'm happy with where the paint is, I'm going to either use a heat gun or a blow dryer or a fan, like my little festive fan here, like hooray. I can use that. I have my little my portable fan here that I purchased. I also have a heat gun, and the heat gun is what dries the best. The heat will let this warped paper, because it's so wet, it'll let the warped paper smooth out again. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my heat gun and give it a dry. Okay, it was my bad. My bad. I don't know what I was thinking. Generally when it's taped down, the paint does, the paper does flatten out, but no, it was my bad. I forgot to put clips on. Oh, it's been a long day. So back to it. I mean, I can still use this. I can still work with it. Don't be discouraged. Let's continue. Okay, you can see that the paint is definitely a lighter color in areas. The more water you have, the lighter it's going to be. But my Kuritakis are, for the most part, a pretty good brand of paint. So I'm going to go ahead and work on a second layer. And with this layer, let me see. I'm not going to go wet on wet. I'm just going to let wet on dry. And for this, I'm going to be adding details. Be adding subtle layers of detail here. So I already have that first layer. And I want it to be loose. So when I make it loose, I hold, it could be a pen, it could be my paintbrush, as far up the handle as possible. And by doing so, I surrender control and I allow things not to be so formulaic or structured, and I admire that in other artists. So I am going to I want to do what I can with, I want to duplicate what I like. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right? Just like I learned this style of painting, and I've learned all the lessons about painting from other artists. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've come up with 7. Maybe I could sneak in another petal right here. Okay. Okay. Oh, whoops, I added another one. Yeah, more starbursty, the better. The more starbursty, the better, right? Okay. I can go ahead and go to the center part of my flower now and add in some more color. Want to be as loose as possible. And don't be afraid to leave some areas white. It looks very artistic when we can accomplish that. Like, I did not give in to the temptation to cover every single square inch of my page with paint. So it's just a matter of surrendering control and letting the painting appear where it wants to. You don't want to overwork your paint or your painting. You just want to let it go where it wants to be. Let it go, let it run. Okay, you can clean your brush, add a little water to it, and spread around some areas. Some spots that had been flecked on before can continue to smear. And if you would like to add some more splatter at this point, that is totally fine. Fine by me. I think I'm gonna add a little yellow splatter. I'm gonna add some yellow splatter here. When you add yellow to pink, you get a nice peach. And okay, maybe not the yellow. Now it looks diseased. We can work with it. It's okay. It's okay. It's nothing to cry about right now. We'll cry later. Okay, I'm gonna move over to adding some leaves. So I think I'm gonna add some more water here. All your leaves do not have to be the same shade. You can, by the way, use a palette while you are painting and mix up a variety of colors. It does not have to all be the same color. I was using this palette for another video. So I have some green here. All right, add a little, whoops, this one. And if I wanted to make it a little warmer, I would add something like a yellow ochre color. Did it look like it changed to you? Let's see. That's a very nice complementary green. I think it looks great with that pink. Remember, it's going to dry lighter than it appears. So right here, I'm just going to loosely suggest a leaf. I don't think I had ever heard such great advice from an artist as I did from the person who told me it's going to be the suggestion of a flower, the suggestion of a leaf. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just gives the viewer the idea that, oh, there's supposed to be a leaf here. And if you're going to have a variety of leaf shades, you might want to vary where you place them. You don't all want to place. I think everything on this side will be light green and everything over here will be dark green. Don't want to do that. I can use this same shade and mix in another color, like perhaps this blue, and add a little, oops, you didn't see that. I have this horrible habit, and do as I say, not as I do. I have a horrible habit of not cleaning my brush before dipping into another well. I know, I'm sorry. But do as I say, not as I do. Don't follow my bad habits, okay? It's a really bad habit. And for the sake of this video, I'm not turning my page, but if you feel the need to move your paper around to accomplish something you'd like to see in your painting, then by all means, twist and turn it. Twist and turn it. I can add little splatters of green over here as well. I've seen artists do neat tricks like utilize salt for great texture. I've seen artists, when they use salt, they place the paint and then they get like table salt and sprinkle it on the wet paint and wait for it to dry before scraping off the salt, and it leaves a very nice textured look. That is something you can try. I think I'm gonna try this lighter teal. For what? I don't know. I like the color. Maybe to suggest another shade of leaf or branch over here, or maybe it's background. I don't know. You don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes you just want to leave it up to the viewer to try and figure out, like, for themselves, what do you see here? What do you see in my painting? For me, instinct can be a really cool tool to use. Maybe you just want to, I want to see something darker here. I want to have some contrast, so I think I'll add something dark. You don't have to have the answers to everything, guys and girls. And if you are one of my former students watching, because you wanted something to paint over the summer at the end of the school year, big shout out to you. I'm very proud of you. And I wish you a really fun summer and a great time next year. And I can't wait for our paths to cross again. And I didn't like how I left that blue. So maybe I'll just blend it in right here. Just because this is not acrylic painting doesn't mean that we don't have to use a palette. We can utilize a palette like this little tiny thing. You can use a paper plate that has the seal. You can use a regular plate, like from your dining area. All sorts of things. So I have a pink, orange, green. So what I see also is warm, cool, cool. So what I want to do to add a little more warmth around the edges, maybe have some, add some browns. Let me see what happens if I add brown to this teal. If I add brown to the teal, it becomes gray. Oh, that's not bad. That's a nice shade right there. And since I'm using shades of color that are already on the paper, it's easier to blend in. What are these supposed to be? Oh, I don't know. Twigs? We don't need all the answers, right? Maybe we don't know the question. Oh, shut up, Pam. So at this point, I'm going to give it a dry, and let's see what our next step will be. Okay, so what am I going to do with this now? What do I do with this now? Well, I'm not going to throw it away, I'll tell you that. I'm going to take my pens, my micron pens, and I'm going to add some details to this. I don't really need to have it clipped on the side anymore. Ow! I'm gonna take that off. And just like with the paintbrush, I'm going to hold my pen up pretty high at the top, and I'm gonna let it work its magic. Okay, I'm gonna take the lid off first, and I'm gonna let it work its magic. Where do I see the suggestion of petals? Where do I see the suggestion of petals here? This practice of imperfect painting with numerous issues and errors like I've made should give you confidence that you can make something nice. We should move away from perfection, or the idea of perfection, because there's a lot of beauty in imperfections too. If anything, you are unique. Your work becomes unique, because who wants to be the same as everyone else? Why are you trying to stand in when you were born to stand out? Dr. Seuss, right? I have the suggestion of a flower here. So in the center, what I can do still with, this is a 0.03 tip. I have some fatter tips. Come on, fat tip. The microns out. I think when you vary the sizes, that's a 0.3. What is this one? A 0.3. When you vary the sizes, you get, oh my goodness, how many 0.3s did I buy? Okay, I found a 0.1. This is teeny tiny 0.1. When you vary the sizes, you have a lot more fun. And notice that I am going over what I've already suggested here, and that's fine. I like looking at watercolor with ink lines that are repetitive and that overlap. I don't know, I find it very one way to say artsy fartsy. I also find it just very soothing, very boho. I like the idea of it. And you know what? If you don't want to add more than one line, it's your painting. Do what you want, honey. I'm not going to send the painting police after you, as if such a thing existed. Okay, I'm going to take this and do the same thing with the outside here. And just add some little loopy-loops. Okay. And then I'm also going to look at where might I want to add some shadows. Right here. Might get a little darker. Is it going to be perfect? No. Makes it feel sketchy. Makes it feel very loose. Now I can turn this around. Oh, look. This shade just continues to haunt my dreams right here. I didn't even know that was wet. Oh well. Let me add some more shade right here. Okay, the sign of a true artist, you wear your work, right? If you see patterns in your painting, like I have right here, if you see patterns in your painting, don't be afraid to outline or make them stand out. You're still following me, teal. Make this shade stand out. I know that when you have petals, you have areas in between where it's a bit darker. And then you have some folds on the sides, and that's okay too. A bit more shadow. And you can make your shadows look however you want. No painting police here. I like what I did there. That looks neat. Have you made any marks on your painting that you think, hey, I can do that to the rest of the petals? But when are we gonna add the shimmer? Patience, my dear. Patience, my pretty. No, I'm not gonna do the Wicked Witch laugh. There's some spots I didn't even fill it in completely. It's not completely dark, but there's the suggestion of depth, right? And right here, I might add a bit more. Okay, what are you thinking? I love dots. You see how I have some of these little blooms of paint. Okay, I'm just gonna trace a few of these. Okay, and, oh, it looks like a face. Now, I'm gonna take my shimmery pinky color. I'm gonna make sure it's the color I want. Ooh, that's pretty. Now, let's rock and roll. Okay, I can add some shimmer here. Can you see that? Can you see how that is shiny, shiny? Shiny, happy people everywhere. Oh, look at this. Kind of, the markings right here remind me of a jellyfish. Are you finding beauty in your painting yet? Are you having fun? I think that's the most important question. There have been times where I have created things and I've wondered, what was I thinking? And I would set it down and walk away, and someone else would come over and think, that is beautiful. And I'm like, what do you see? What are you noticing? And it took another person's eyes for me to see clearly and to appreciate it. And I would like my paintings a bit more after that. Sometimes I just like it after a good night's sleep. You might grow frustrated with things. So it's okay, we're just playing. You need to play like you did when you were in kindergarten, when you were in pre-K, when it was summertime and the cable was out, or the stream or the internet was out. What did you do with your time? For me, it was a box of Crayolas or a Barbie doll. You didn't really have a lot of choice. Okay, and now I'm going to attack the center, and I'm just going to add little circles of color. I don't want them to be too close together because I don't want them to be. If you want yours close together, by all means. Not gonna call those people that don't exist. You can make perfect circles, you can make tiny dots, you can make larger dots. And if you don't have a gel pen, do you have a marker? Do you have different color ballpoint pens? Because it might not look like this, but you know what? It might not look bad either. Just because you don't have the exact supplies I have does not mean you are making junk. I betcha you can make something beautiful. Okay, breaking out the new jelly rolls. Yes, they really are called jelly rolls. Ooh, I'm liking this purple or that purple. I do need some green. I went looking for jelly rolls because of the greens. Has vivid and opaque ink. Encre vive et opaque. I don't know what that. I think it was supposed to be French. Let's see, what color are you? Ooh, deep. Ooh, I like. Ooh. Oh, it looks almost black. And this one has a much finer point than my earlier ones. Well, at least it felt like it. Where's my pinky? No, it's the same. No. This one has a fatter point. Let's see. That's thin. Yeah, look at that. Maybe it's because this one's shimmery. I don't know. They needed more space. I'm going to go over some of these leaves, these wannabe leaves, in a different shade. All right. Maybe something lighter where you can see the actual ink. Do I need to draw a line on everyone? No, not at all. Not in the least. I'm gonna turn you this way. Yeah, and some of them I'm going to add lines. And some of, I know I can double, you know how I did around the flowers? I can double, triple the lines, repetitive lines, traced over lines. Okay, I think I'm gonna change the color. Ooh, look at this. Let's try it out. See what we got here. Ooh, tealy. Sometimes it's okay to match. Ooh, tealy. You know what? I'm gonna go back to that other shade I just had. This one. I'm gonna add some more circles in here. Here's what I did with the last one I did. Also to point out, you know how I forgot to clip this page down. I also want to mention, forgot to mention, a big difference is the type of paper you use. Absolutely do not use printer paper when painting watercolors, even if it's just dry on dry. Even an inexpensive watercolor paper, like, don't I have one lying around? It's ran by Hobby Lobby. This is a Master's Touch, and this type of paper, oh, here I have watercolor pastels. It is not highest quality, but you know what? It is better than printer paper, and it's seriously not that expensive. I like to use Strathmore watercolor paper, and you just get a thicker paper, and this one is cold press. You only get 12 pages, but it's 140 pound, and save this good stuff for when you have practiced a bit. Another good brand is Canson. So there's, I mean, you just gotta try different brands and see which one you like to get the outcome you are searching for. But until then, please don't use printer paper. just won't work. It won't work. It won't work. I have this pen. I'm going to add a little bit of this shade in here. I feel like I want every color pen that I use on this piece to be found in the center. Do I need to outline every single item here? No. No, you don't. You outline what you want to outline. It's yours. Not gonna call. Ooh, you know the story. You know how it goes. This is kind of like a brown, gold. Let's see what we got here. Let me go multiple lines here. These are good pens for like doodling or journaling. If you just want to write in a pretty color for, you know, for your notes. Although if you use them just for notes, expect them to go really fast. Gel pens are not meant to be used just for notes. They're more artsy fartsy. I like that. That's a nice combo. I think I'm going to start adding little squiggles of stems. And you know what? I have completely forgotten where to hold my pen. You can also use plain old black. That's nice. Plain old black will do. And what I did on my other painting was I just added some squiggly lines, kind of like a vine effect. And I think that made it very how did it make it, Pam? I don't know. I liked it better. How about that? It made it better to look at. If you don't want to do it, there you go. And I told you I like dots, and I can add some dots. Did I already do black dots in here? I don't remember. Same brand, I believe. No, it's not same brand. Another good brand of pen is, let me see. Arteza has these really cool pens. I bought these on Amazon, and they have glitter, I believe. Glitter. Well, let me just. Sometimes they work on the paper, sometimes they do not. They're just like, no, I don't wanna. You cannot make me. This one's not working there. But another good brand is Uniball, Signo, and these are fabulous for laying down color. A very fabulous gel pen, and some of my this is one of my newer ones, but some of my favorite are utilizing the white, the gold, and the silver, because you cannot have too much white, gold, or silver anywhere, at least in my opinion. That looks fancy. That looks seriously fancy. I think I'm gonna add a little more there. I think I have a blue in that. Oh, look at that beautiful line. Like purple. I believe it was a set. The gold I did purchase separately. Comes in white. how do you know you have too many art supplies? Too many pretty pens. If you have more than 5 pencil bags with art supplies, you might have a problem. Nah, it's not a problem. Just call it therapy. It's therapy, right? This can be a little odd there. Maybe I do want to fill this in right here. Look, guys, I'm scribbling. Little gold, 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 little gold. Love a little shimmer. Oh, I found one I hadn't done. Oh, that looks fabulous. Fabulous. The best part of making work like this is the relaxation you feel while you are making it, and how when you look up from the painting and you realize it's been 3 hours since you moved. It's a really cool feeling that you can relax that well. And that is true for any artistic endeavor, I believe. The relaxation. And I really think I'm done. I think it's finished. I hope you've enjoyed this activity, and you continue to make beautiful things. And until next time, y'all take care.